Hello dear students, I am Dr.S.D.Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. Dear student, I welcome all of you in this online lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasara Samajas, KRT Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, popularly known as KTHM College Nasik. Dear student, this is our M.Sc Geography Part First Class, Semester 1 and title of our subject is Principle of Economic Geography and the paper code of this subject is GGUT-113. Dear student, today in this lecture we are going to discuss our topic number 7, that is economic development in India. In this topic we have a subtopic, that is Green Revolution in India. Dear student, in previous lecture we have discussed a detailed information about the Green Revolution in India part 1. In this part 1 we have discussed detailed information about definition of Green Revolution, major characteristics of Green Revolution in India, and impacts of Green Revolution in India. Dear student, for today's lecture, we have study objective or learning objective, that is to discuss the Green Revolution in India part 2. In this part 2, we are going to discuss advantages and disadvantages of Green Revolution in India, and also we are going to discuss need of new Green Revolution in India. Dear student, as an increase in crop production because of use of new variety of seeds, the use of pesticide and new agriculture technique is known as Green Revolution. The movement of Green Revolution was a great success and changed the country's status from a food deficiency economy to one of the world's leading agriculture nation. And dear student, this was possible only due to the implementation of the Green Revolution program successfully in India. Dear student, it was started in 1965-66 and it was continued till 1978. Dear student, the Green Revolution introduced a number of modern farming methods in India that was really too much useful for the boost the agriculture production in India, and also it increased the area under agriculture in India. Dear student, but when we implemented this program, that time we have seen lot of advantages and disadvantages of this program in India. First, let us talk about the advantages of Green Revolution in India. First, very important advantages of Green Revolution of India was it solved the food crisis of India by making the farmer to grow crops with high yielding variety. It increases in agriculture production and the productivity. Means when we implemented this program, that time we can able to solve our food crisis problem on a large scale, because when we implemented this program, that time our agriculture production as well as the productivity of the agriculture crops was increased, and therefore we can able to minimize the intensity of food crisis program in this period. Another important advantages of this Green Revolution of India was it allowed agriculture operation on a large scale, and the Green Revolution has brought farming in a massive scale. Therefore, the area under agriculture land was increased tremendously when we implemented this program in India. I already talked about this, that the near about the 8 state of the India, they implemented this program. Therefore, in this area, the area under agriculture was increased on a large scale, and therefore this is a really very good advantages of Green Revolution in India. Another important advantages, India achieved self-sufficiency in food grain. As a result, import of food grain reduced. Yes, this is a really very good advantages, because when we implemented this program in India, that time we boost our agriculture production, especially the production of the food grain like wheat, like jawar, like rice, like bajra. Therefore, that time we can able to produce a tremendous agriculture production. And what was happen? So due to this, we become a self-sufficiency in the food grain, and whatever the we was import the food grain from the various country, it was suddenly reduced, it decreased due to the boost the agriculture production in India. So therefore, this is a very important advantages of Green Revolution of India we have seen. Another important advantages of this program, the area with irrigation facility were made to grow more crops, and it led to increase in area under irrigation in India. Means what? The area under irrigation was increased on a large scale during this program. Especially I am talking about the Punjab, Haryana and some part of the western Uttar Pradesh. In that area, the area under irrigation was tremendously increased, and this is a really very good positive result we have seen, or you can say it is a good advantages of green revolution in India. Let us talk about the another important advantages. It creates the higher income level and more job in India. Means what? The when this program was implemented that time, the numbers of the various farmer were involved in this program. Therefore, the income of this farmer was increased on a large scale. And other important thing, because when we implemented this program in India, that time we used a lot of chemical fertilizer, pesticide, various agriculture equipment, or you can say the machinery that we have used for the in this program. And one another important thing, that the irrigation. The irrigation, we record the numbers of things when we implemented the irrigation or you started the irrigation in that particular agricultural land. That time, from this various field, there was a demand for the labor was increased, because when the for this production, it may be the pesticide, fertilizer, agriculture equipment, or some other irrigation related things. When the demand from this company or the labor increased, that time there was a lot of opportunity for the various people, and they get the good job in this field. So therefore, it creates the higher income level of the farmer, and also create a lot of job opportunity in the various sector or various company, which was directly or indirectly related to the green revolution in India. These two are another important advantages. It supports the other sector of the Indian economy. I just mentioned about the directly or indirectly, this green revolution also support to the irrigation related company, or you can say the pesticide, fertilizer, agriculture equipment related, and also the internal trade in India also increase with respect to the agriculture commodity. So therefore, this is a really very good advantages we have seen when you implemented this program in India. Let us talk about the few disadvantages of the green revolution that we also seen during the same period. First is, it reduces the quality of soil used for the cultivation. The excessive use of fertilizer makes soil alkaline and unfit for cultivation. It reduces the soil quality of soil. Dear students, this is a really very important disadvantage we have seen. When we use the extra or the excess, the use of fertilizer and pesticide, that time, that directly or indirectly that impact on the soil quality, and soil quality is decreased on a large scale. It is only due to the over utilization of the chemical fertilizer that we have seen. This is a really very important disadvantages of green revolution. Then another important is disadvantage of the green revolution was use of tube wells reduce the water table. Or dear student, you know that for fulfill the need of the crops through the irrigation, that time the use of tube wells was increased on a large scale. Therefore, in that particular region where the use of tube well was too much, in that region we have seen that water table, or you can say the groundwater table, was reduced on a large scale, and really that was directly or indirectly impact on the underground distribution of the water. So therefore, this is also important disadvantage of this program. Another important disadvantage of this green revolution was chemical fertilizer pollute groundwater. You know that, student. When you use the chemical fertilizer, that time some part of this chemical fertilizer is percolated in the ground, and that was directly mixed into the groundwater, and therefore it lead to the groundwater pollution. That was happened during the green revolution program when we are implementing in India. Another important disadvantage is that it also impact on the environment quality, environmental damage. When we use the pesticide, fertilizer, that affect directly the soil quality, soil fertility, and also lead to the eutrophication in water body. You know that the eutrophication, this process is very harmful for the ecosystem which are available inside the water body, and that was possible, that was happened only due to the overuse of the pesticide fertilizer in the agriculture, because some part of that that pesticide and fertilizer was mixed in the water body, and that lead to the eutrophication process in that particular water body, and that badly affect the whatever the ecosystem was available inside that water body. So therefore this is really very important environmental damage we have seen during the implementation of the Green Revolution program in India. Another important disadvantages of this program was it lead to land and soil degradation. Dear student, when we use the various agricultural machinery for the various agricultural operation in agriculture field, that time it was directly or indirectly affect on the soil quality and the land degradation also. That's also very important disadvantage we have seen during this program, implementation of this program. Another important things that is also the disadvantages of this program, the more use of fossil fuel generate energy demand. Dear student, you know that the important feature of this Green Revolution in India was the use of irrigation for the agriculture purpose, and for that purpose we increase the use of the tube wells or the other wells or diesel pump in that period to fulfill the need of the crops or need of the crops water through the irrigation. And therefore there was numbers of this diesel pump or the electricity was used for this irrigation purpose, and therefore there is a increase the fuel demand from this sector, and therefore there was the pressure on the energy supply. And this is also important thing, because you know that when the use of the fossil fuel like diesel increase, that time there are pressure and the pressure on the fulfillment the demand of this field. Therefore, dear student, this is a really very important disadvantage, that the more use of fossil fuel generator increase demand during this particular period. Then another important, there was the important disadvantages of this program, the more inequality among farmer, interpersonal inequality. Dear student, you know that some farmer that was rich, they can able to invest a lot of money in the agriculture field or the agriculture, and they get good return. But other hand, some farmers were very poor, they are not able to or not in a position to invest the money in the agriculture, therefore they not get good return or the income from this Green Revolution, and they remain poor and poor. And other hand, some farmer which was able to invest the money in agriculture field, they become a very rich, and therefore the gap between the rich and poor was increased, and therefore there was more inequality among the farmers' income that we seen during this implementation of this program. Dear student, let us talk about the need of new Green Revolution in India. There are numbers of the various reasons why we require the new Green Revolution in India. Let us discuss this point one by one. The first point is maintaining this level of productivity has been quite a challenge in the recent year, and is likely to become more difficult over the next few decades as weather pattern is going to change, availability of the water is also going to change, and the growing season shift further, and threat of invasive the weeds, pests, and so many things. Therefore, dear student, this is a really very good important point, and that explain us the need of the Green Revolution again in India. Dear student, you know that for to fulfill the need of the human being, we require the increase the production and the productivity of the agriculture. But you know that when we use the continuously fertilizer, the chemical fertilizer pesticide, that time it doesn't mean that every time your production will be increased. But at some extent it is increased, but after that there was a totally stop. There is not too much increase in the increase in the production of that agricultural product. So therefore, there is a need to do something different to increase the production of the Revolution, and that was possible to the new technique of the agriculture, that is organic farming, and through that organic farming we can able to do this thing, and this for that purpose we require the new green revolution in India. Dear student, I just mentioned that to provide the sufficient grains, the pulses and the other requirement put from the agriculture, healthy food should be produced by conducting the organic farming. You know that when we use the lot of chemical fertilizer and pesticide that time, that also yes, it is true that they increase the production of the agricultural product, but simultaneously they also impact on the human health. There is, you know that when one survey was conducted in that period there was lot of the observation was saying that there was bad impact and negative impact we have also seen on the human health. Therefore, if you want to avoid this thing, then we should give encouragement to the organic farming, and by that farming we can able to avoid use of chemical fertilizer and the pesticide, and for that purpose to boost the or to give the encouragement again to organic farming in India, we require the new green revolution. Another important point that also explain the why the new green revolution in India is required. Why the side effect of the chemical fertilizer, pesticide, new technology is required, and to increase the more area under organic farming, therefore new green revolution is required. Dear students, you know that. So you know that when we implemented the first green revolution in India, it was in 1965 or that period. So that time the area under agriculture and irrigation was increased on a large scale. But nowadays we want to increase the area under agriculture, but in organic agriculture, because you know that there was also when we increase the area under irrigation and the agriculture, that time we specially use the chemical fertilizer and pesticide, but the impact also we have seen the negative impact on the ecology and human health and soil and so many environmental factors. So if you want to avoid this thing, then there is a need to implement the organic farming program successful in India. So for that purpose we need the new green revolution in India to give the encouragement and the area under, if you want to increase the area under organic farming, then definitely we require the same program which was we implemented in 1965. Against that time the program we require, but for organic farming, development of the organic farming in India. So for that purpose there is a need of new green revolution in India. Another important point, to minimize the regional imbalance in agriculture development, there should be the development in all part of the country in agriculture sector, which could possible through planned green revolution. And for that, new green revolution in this. Yes, this is a very important point. You know that then during that period we also seen there was a regional imbalance. All part of the India was not developed with respect to the agriculture development. Only few states like Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, some part of the Gujarat, only this state were the developed as a western, but remaining all state was not developed too much with respect to the agriculture development. If you want to create the agriculture development in all part of the India, then we require the again the green revolution that should be very planned and that will be beneficial for the all part of the India. And for that purpose, we require the again the green revolution. Another important point that shows there is a need of green revolution in India. The first green revolution only limited crops was implemented and success in a only limited crop. It was started selected crops. Therefore, it was not beneficial to other crops on the states. Therefore, to cover the all part and the all other important crops, again there is a need to start the new green revolution in India. Means what? This point very simple, that you know that the first green revolution of India was implemented to increase the production of the only few crops like rice, jawar, bajra, wheat, maize and so many. But during that period the vegetable crops was not included, then the food crops was not included, then the other pulses crops were not included. But we need the increase the income, increase the production of this program, production of these crops is also required. And for that purpose, we need this green revolution again. And another important state, the various state they was not involved in the first green revolution, but now there is a need to include the all part of the all state of India that also get benefit from this green revolution. And for that purpose, we want to again start new green revolution that can be beneficial for each and every crops that we cultivated through the agriculture field, and also all the state of India that are the part of our country. Last important thing, to bring more area under irrigation and cultivate local variety of crop that could not be harmful to biodiversity and ecology is very important. For that purpose, we require the new green regulation is required. Dear students, you know that during first green regulation, what we have done, we use the high yielding variety seeds that we import from the Mexico, America, and other country. But that was also very harmful for our local biodiversity. If you want to avoid these disadvantages, there is a need to use the local variety of the crops that might be the very useful and not harmful for our biodiversity. Therefore, for that purpose, we have to start green regulation again in India. And another important thing, we want to implement this program in such a way there should not be any harmful impact on our biodiversity and ecology. And for that purpose, I just mentioned that the organic farming is important. The very comprehensive plan is important. That should be beneficial for the human being also, and also for the biodiversity and the environment also, or ecology also. And for that purpose, we require the new green revolution in India. Dear students, this was about the today's lecture. These are some websites. From this website, I have collected lot of information, and for making our PPT more interesting. Dear student, you can also refer this all website if you want to update your notes. This was about today's lecture. In next lecture, we are going to discuss about the another important point, that is the regional imbalance in India. So okay, thank you.